Women's basketball postseason play.
We've got some men's basketball, number 1 seed in the NIT.
Buff up the Rec trying to get past.
And heavy hearts for Spencer Nelson as the ski team takes on the national title.
Sports Mag now. Hello and welcome to another edition of CU Sports Mag. I'm Andy McDonald, sitting alongside Simone von Rivenberg, and spring break is next week, but don't go anywhere. CU Athletics had a full week of sports, and a pretty exciting one at that.
That's right. We've got a great show coming up, both men and women taking on the NIT tournaments, and the ski team claiming the national title.
That's right. CU ski team was not short of motivation this season as they sought to bring home a national championship in honor of their fallen teammate, Spencer Nelson. CU Sports Mag's Luke Rosenmeyer takes a look at the ski team's journey to an 18th national title.
A season that started in tribute to Spencer Nelson has ended with the same chorus.
And the fact is that they were able to honor the memory of their comrade and the teammate was absolutely fabulous.
It's actually Spencer's 21st birthday today.
And it's such a monumental accomplishment to do it for Spencer, for each other, with each other.
Colorado ski team brought home their 18th national championship this week, overcoming some significant challenges on their roller coaster of a season.
Actually, out of 2 possible days of training on the hill, we didn't have none. We had 0, nothing. So it's like for quarterback, throwing the ball behind the corner, over the hill, and then hoping that there will be someone.
That bumpy ride included the loss of one of the team's leaders and captains, Katie Hartman, to a torn ACL midway through the year. Despite the loss of one of the team's most talented skiers, the Buffs were undeniable at this year's NCAA championships, leading the competition from start to finish and finishing with the 5th largest margin of victory in NCAA history. Leading the way for Colorado were Aliska Hajkova and Reed Pletcher, who both won individual Nordic championships on the same set of skis. On the Alpine side, senior Gabriel Rivas ended his career as a Buff in style, posting a 2nd-place finish in the slalom as well as the 6th-place finish in the giant slalom. Overall, Colorado posted 15 top 10 finishes and garnered 8 first-team All-America honors. The next challenge for CU skiers will be finding the motivation to repeat after a dominant performance at this year's championships. Luke Rosenmeyer, CU Sports Mag.
Great job, ski team. And the men's basketball team was not happy after Sunday's selection show when they did not get picked for the big dance. But NIT is still here, and they got Texas Southern.
That's right. Let's take a look at some of the clips from the game. Postseason, beginning with the Buffs heading to the NIT, fans not shy about showing their disdain over the committee snub. Travell Jones getting the party started, 2-0 for the Tigers. Texas playing some sloppy basketball. Burks answers with a steal and a quick pass to Higgins, toss back to Burks for the bucket, and the Buffs begin to gain some momentum. For Texas, we've got Galloway with the dribble pass to Travell Jones. Texas gets the dunk, but Buffs still have the lead. Now we've got Relford scooping up the ball. Galloway quick on that steal, driving up the court. Pass to Johnson Danner, and he's going to take a shot from outside, making a big 3-pointer for Texas. Here we've got Nate Tomlinson, quick on his toes and making plays happen. Quick pass to Burks, Burks to Higgins for the layup. These two dangerous together. And Roberson keeps the momentum going with a slam dunk. Boom, that's how we do it in Boulder. Check this play by Burks. Who needs to see the basket? He certainly doesn't, making this look easy.
CU ski team honored at halftime in the 18th national title. Special moment here though. Spencer Nelson's parent on the court, getting some love from the Boulder faithful and holding up that trophy. Great job, guys. 15-point lead for the Buffs at half. Alec Burks coming out of nowhere, throwing it down. CU fans loving to see that. Don't know how much longer they will be seeing that, so might as well get to the games and watch him play. Coming the other way, Burks can pass to Higgins. Higgins 25 points on the game. Just another big night for Higgins in Boulder. But Texas Southern coming the other way, making this basket. Kevin Galloway 1 of 6 from deep, but bringing the game close. Shannon Sharp, 5,430 feet, not high enough, getting up some more. Levi Knutson hits a 365-43 Buffs. Shannon Sharp to Roberson. You're going to see those two names quite a bit in the next couple years, both freshmen. But the Tigers getting in on the act, two of their own. Alley-oop, but Berks and the Buffs too much to handle, winning 88-74. CU fans loving it. As you can see, 88-74. Berks, Higgins, huge nights, 27, 25 points respectively. Smith off the bench for the Tigers, big game. He was the newcomer of the year in the SWAC.
And that's right, Ted Boyle pleased about the first NIT win in over a decade.
Along with the men's team, the women's team made the National Invitational Tournament. They hosted UC Riverside and came out early strong. Senior Brittany Spears and sophomore Chucky Jeffrey contributed double-doubles. Both grabbed 12 rebounds, and Jeffrey dropped in 19 points, and Spears added 18 of her own. The Buffs took a 6-point lead into the half and pulled away from Alyssa Morris and the rest of the Highlanders. Every player in a Colorado uniform scored the basketball, and CU won by 9, 71-62. The Buffs move on to play California Monday at home.
And sophomore Alec Burks had a great season thus far, and he continues to build a great college resume. Burks has been named a finalist for the Wooden Award, and the award goes out to students excelling on the court and in the classroom. Burks is averaging just over 20 points and 6 rebounds on the season. He's also been announced as a unanimous All-Big 12 first-team selection on the season. And winners of the Wooden Award will be announced during the Elite 8 round of the NCAA tournament.
Men's basketball PA announcer Alan Cass is retiring after 50 years behind the microphone. Andrew Tomasini reflects on the career of the longtime Buff announcer.
Electrifying. Unique.
A PA announcer is speechless. Who knew, right?
Booming.
The adjectives used by Colorado senior Matt Hanlon describes Alan Cass. After 50-plus years stationed behind the mic, Cass has officially retired from his PA duties. According to Alan, now is the right time to sign off.
So I'm going to have a fun time being a fan. Now I get to sit up there and I can yell and scream at the referees, and that'll be a different experience as well.
Most everyone knows Alan from his signature calls during athletic events, but truth be told, his best memories and proudest moments while at CU have been beyond the playing field.
We put together this display and went to 12 cases, and then we had another room at the UMC to put all these things in. We were just going to put it in a corner of the ballroom. It's just grown and grown and grown, and now is an official archive.
One of the many positions Cass held at CU was curator and founder of the Glenn Miller Archive. This is Cass's true passion, and despite retiring from the PA business, his title as such will not go away.
It's just been phenomenal how that continues to grow, and continues. Every week or so, we still get things that people send to us, as a matter of fact.
Cass's Boulder roots run deep, as public records show the Cass family has called Boulder home for over 100 years. Alan's grandmother was one of the first female graduates at CU in 1891, and although Alan's voice will be missed, his spirit will not be forgotten. Andrew Tomasini, News Team Boulder.
Coming up after the break, Josh Rising joins us on the desk to discuss the events of Selection Sunday.
And one of the best Buffs to ever play basketball here at CU is our Athlete of the Week. Stay tuned.
You pass the salt, Dad. Salt is to pepper as gregarious is to...
Oh, no, not more SAT questions.
In ancient Rome, salt was a form of currency. True or false?
False?
True.
Son, can you locate sodium?
Or chloride?
There are tons of ways to help with your kids' learning. Find the really good ones on connectforkids.org.
You have 3.5 grams of salt and a 5-gram slug. What's the rate of shrivel?
In America, you are not required to offer food to the hungry or shelter to the homeless. There is no ordinance forcing you to visit the lonely. In fact, nowhere in the Constitution does it say you have to provide anything for anybody. Thank you for all you've given. Imagine what more could do.
Former a CU student, football player, Olympian, and world champion. But most importantly, I'm a forever Buff, which means I'm part of 240,000 students and alums created by the CU Boulder Alumni Association. The University of Colorado will always be something I'm very proud to be a part of. The years that I spent going to school and playing football provided me with some of the best memories of my life. So come join me in creating lifelong CU relationships and explore the Forever Buff program.
Don't be mean. Clean your machine.
We have Josh Reising here on the desk discussing a little men's basketball. Obviously, experts call it a snub. What's your take on the Buffs not making the big dance, the NCAA tournament, and instead making the NIT?
Well, I think that the Buffs have every reason to be disappointed right now. The teams that did get in was UAB, USC, VCU, and Clemson. Now, I don't think that UAB or Clemson should have got in. Clemson, they got in because because of their name. They play in the ACC, but they didn't have any top 50 wins. And UAB, the only big win they had was against VCU, and that was early in the season. And they don't have any other wins to show for it right now. So I think that Colorado definitely has beef with any of these teams. They beat Missouri, Texas, and swept Kansas State so far this season.
Obviously, the teams are not too happy about it, but they still have games to play. How does a team like the Buffs get fired up for a game, the NIT, when they know in their hearts that they should be playing in the other tournament?
Well, they got to use this as fuel to the fire. You got to put it behind you, and you just got to keep on playing. They had a game against Texas Southern. They got a game up against California, and they just got to realize, to prove them wrong, you got to go to Madison Square Garden, and you got to win the National Invitational Tournament and just show everybody that you deserve to make the NCAA tournament over a team like UAB. And not just as a playing team, but you deserve to be in as a team that might have been an 8, 9, 10 seed, not just a playing team. So Colorado definitely can use this as motivation here on out.
Thank you, Josh. That's a great analysis. Appreciate it.
Colorado and Utah are the newest members of the Pac-12 Conference, and they revealed their new logo this week. It was presented during a video posted online by the conference on Wednesday. The video shows all of the current Pac-10 schools and then welcomes 2 new schools through a collage of cards. Colorado and Utah complete the new Pac-12 Conference this June.
Corey Higgins has seen many ups and downs over his course of 4 years here in Boulder. The senior is one of the best Buffs, and now he's CU Sports Mag's Athlete of the Week.
Alberg, CU Sports Mag.
Kara Schrader, CU Sports Mag.
Chucky Jeffrey, CU Sports Mag.
Joe Morris, CU Sports Mag.
It's been great, especially with these guys, building lasting relationships with them, and especially the senior year has been just the topper on everything that we've been through the last 4 years. It's been a great season. We're winning. We haven't done that a lot in my past 4 years, so that's what makes this year special, and we have a chance to really make history by winning the NIT. I have no regrets at all. I live my life without any regrets. Everything that happened was supposed to happen. Yeah, I think we took a huge step for this program to get back on the national scene, and I have no doubt in my mind that this program is going to continue to rise and do bigger things than we did this year. That's the goal, but we just got to take it one game at a time, and the next stop is Cal. I'm Corey Higgins, CU Sports Mag, Athlete of the Week.
One All-American who competed in the NCAA championships is junior Emma Coburn. She raced to an 8th place finish in the women's mile run on Saturday at the Indoor Track and Field Championships. At 4 minutes and 36 seconds, Coburn ran her fastest time ever and now owns 3 of the top 4 times in CU's history. Among her list of accomplishments, Coburn has earned all conference and all region honors. Coburn will compete in the steeplechase competition at the Potts Invitational. And the University of Colorado track and field team will host the first outdoor meet of the season at the Potts Invite. Colorado will compete against several Front Range schools at the events, such as Air Force, Metro State, UNC, and the Colorado School of Mines. The Buffs will bring 4 All-Americans from the 2010 outdoor season. The competition will begin with throwing and jumping events and end with running relays. Though Colorado was robbed of a berth in the NCAA tournament, they've done well in the NIT tournament so far. This brings us to this week's trivia question. When was the last time CU actually won the NIT tournament? And we'll have the answer right after the break. So stick around for more Sports Mag after the break. Shannon Lee takes a look at plans to improve CU's rec center.
And Ron Knabenbauer and Stacey Sams break down CU's hopes in the NIT on the double team set.
I'm a good student. We don't want to be at your party any more than you want us here.
What could we have done to avoid this?
Keep the noise down so no one complains.
Hey, guys, keep it down. The neighbors are complaining.
Make sure anyone drinking alcohol is at least 21.
You sure you're old enough?
And finally, make sure that you don't have too many people.
Man, that would have been easy. I wish I had known the rules. Now you know. Avoid trouble. Know the rules.
Don't you love that safe, free feeling you get in a pickup truck, Larry?
Yeah, nothing but you, me, the open road, a deer.
Yeah! A cow! Yeah! An ostrich! The village people! The village people?
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Especially in pickup trucks.
I didn't know the village people were doing a road tour.
Into trouble again.
Hey, Bobo, where's your video game? In here. Well, look at this. Uh-oh, it's my dad's. You want to hold it? What'll I do?
If you get my new comic activity book, More Adventures with Scruff, you'll find out what you can do about bullies and guns. And you'll see lots of games.
Cool.
For your free copy of my new comic activity book, just write Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652, and help take a bite out of crime.
I want it. You know trouble can start when the clock hits 3.
When there's no place after school for kids to be.
Nothing to do but hanging on city streets.
When mom and dad are working to make ends meet. Now it's time to beat the street.
With after-school programs, city kids aren't left alone and vulnerable. They keep on learning between 3 and 6, but these programs need your support. Join with the Urban League to keep them going. Call now, because it's
time to beat the street.
The CU Rec Center is one of the busiest places on campus, but the facility hasn't been updated since the 1970s. Shannon Lee tells us how the CU student government is using the Buff Up the Rec campaign to improve on them.
Coming up, people can't help but think about warmer weather. Sports Mag Jacob Elyashar went on campus to see if people are ready for spring.
All right, spring temperatures are rising and spring training has just begun, meaning only one thing. Baseball season is right around the corner. I'm here at the UMC to test CU students' knowledge about baseball.
Baseball, of course. Track, baseball, along those lines. Baseball.
Baseball?
I think there's a decent chance.
From what I understand, they're doing really good. They have high hopes to make it to October, which is make it to the National League playoffs and hopefully a World Series.
Hockey's, we're hoping for a World Series always.
Really good.
Tulowitzki.
Houston Streets. Giambi.
The Todd father.
Troy Tulowitzki.
There, I'm trying to think.
Troy Tulowitzki, he's a great shortstop. Picking out from New York, actually.
Carlos Gonzalez, he just signed a big contract.
Well, guys, it looks like CU needs to learn a little bit more about baseball. Jacob Elyashar, CU Sports Mag.
Thanks, Jacob. The University of Colorado women's tennis team lost to the Sooners of Oklahoma 7-0. The number 18 Sooners beat the Buffs in straight sets in all but one match. The Buffs had lost their last 4 matches and have gone winless in the conference thus far. CU heads next to Texas, where they'll face Texas A&M and the University of Texas next week.
With 6 practices in the books for the Colorado football team, it appears senior Tyler Hansen is on pace to become the starting quarterback again for the Buffs next season. Head coach John Embry has acknowledged that Hansen's efforts on the field have earned him a role as one of the team's leaders thus far. Also, the running back position has been getting a great deal of attention as of late, and according to senior running back Rodney Stewart, new coach Eric Bieniemy has created a new, more aggressive style to the position as a whole. This should help the Buffs as they prepare for Pac-12 action next season. CU will take March 19th through the 27th off for spring break prior to putting on the pads for the remaining of spring practice, ending on April 7th.
Over on the double-teamed set, Stacey Sams and Ron Knabenbauer recap the Buffs' NIT win.
And they preview the next game against the future Pac-12 opponent, California Golden Bears. Take it away, guys.
Welcome to Double Team. I'm Stacey Sams, and this is Ron Knabenbauer. So, Ron, we've had a very difficult week with men's basketball, haven't we?
It was really a roller coaster week, Stacey. You do great in the Big 12 championships. You go to the semifinals for the first time ever as a program. You play a top-ranked team in Kansas. You play them tough, but you lose. Even though we lost, we still thought, hey, we still had 21 wins this season. We deserve a chance to be in the big dance. We think we're a shoo-in until Sunday afternoon comes around, and guess what? We're not in. This NCAA selection committee snubbed us compared to maybe other mid-major teams. And I would say probably the whole maybe city and maybe the nation was shocked that Colorado wasn't in the tournament. I know I was, I know you were, I know everyone on our Sports Mag staff was shocked. With that said, we still have a chance to play in the postseason in the men's NIT.
Yes, and actually with Wednesday's game of men's basketball, CU did try to prove to the selection committee that we can rise up against all of our flaws. But we actually did score last night, Wednesday, 88 to 74 in terms of our score. And actually, since we weren't included in the committee with UAB, USC, and VCU, can you tell me, why do you think that is?
Well, if you heard the conversation with the selection committee commissioner after the selection, he would tell you that Colorado didn't have enough votes. There's some talk about maybe a conspiracy along with Dan Beebe, who's the commissioner of the Big 12, who is also on the committee, maybe being angry at Colorado since we're leaving his conference for the Pac-10. I don't buy that at all. If I was going to say anything, it's because mainly our non-conference schedule. We lost to some teams that we shouldn't have lost to, San Francisco and Harvard in particular. Again, teams that are kind of easy that we should have beat. And then also in our conference schedule, we lost 4 games in a row against teams such as Baylor, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. All 3 games that we could have won and had a chance to win late in the second quarter or second half. We just didn't get it done at the end, and I think that was the end for CU basketball for the season.
Okay, so as far as Andre Roberson, he actually led the team with a score of 15 points and actually led us with a rebound, a steal, and 2 blocks. So at least that's good. We do see some progression. Hopefully we can start seeing some with the rest of his teammates. What do you think?
And Andre has been an amazing freshman. The first few games, he was a little slow to get started, but since then he's been progressing every single day. If you talk to Coach Boyle, he'll say what he likes about Andre Roberson is that he's getting better every game. He still makes those mistakes that freshmen do make, but he's getting better every single game. That's what you want to see. He's a very coachable player, and as a freshman, that's what you want to see because he's going to be better, and he's going to be one of these superstars on this squad in these next 3 years.
All right, now can you tell me a little bit about what you think is going to happen with California's game tomorrow?
You're right. We're playing the Cal Bears on Friday at 7:30 at the Coors Event Center, and the thing with Cal is that they have 3 very good players who are averaging over 13 points per game in Jorge Gutierrez, Alan Krabby, and Harper Camp. You have to stop 1, maybe 2 of those teams because they play in a very tough conference in the Pac-10 and a BCS conference. So it's a future Pac-12 opponent. It's going to not be an easy game for the Buffs, but I think it's a game that the Buffs can win and keep on rolling and maybe bring home an NIT championship.
All right. And so, Ron, if CU succeeds and wins tomorrow against California and hopefully next week against Kent State or Fairfield, what do you think our chances are of making it to Madison Square Garden?
Well, first off, our chances going to Madison Square Garden, the cathedral of American sports, has gotten a lot better after this first week in the NIT. You have number 2 seed St. Mary's losing. You have number 3 seed Colorado State losing. So now that if we can beat Cal, I think our odds of getting to the Final Four are a lot better. And I would say we're almost a shoo-in if we can beat Cal, but then again, it's the NIT and anything can happen.
All right, well, unfortunately, that's all we do have this week. But I'm Stacey Sams, and this is Ron Knabenbauer, and now back to our desk.
Thanks, guys. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We will have that Buff Up the Rec package coming up after the break, and also we'll reveal that ever-pesky trivia question.
That's right, and we're not done yet on Sports Mag. Shannon Lee will be giving us the weekend outlook for the ski slopes.
And hopefully we get a little bit more snow than we're used to.
That's right.
Oh, let's sit down for a second, okay, Smooth?
Hey, Kayla, there's Mary from your class.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Kayla. Come and play.
Oh, sweetie. Why don't you go play with those kids over there?
Why?
Imagine the power of one voice. Find yours at freedomcenter.org.
Last year, she helped convict 90 drug dealers, seize several tons of crack and marijuana, and close down 10 major drug operations. She is a 68-year-old grandmother named Irma. She set up a community drug watch that is not only changing her neighborhood, but its future. There are many ways to help in your community. Call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Lewis and Clark, great explorers. Hey. Hi, I'm Thomas Jefferson. Would you check out the West for me? Oh, sure. And they take their keelboat up the Missouri. Oh, Buffalo. Then they built Fort Mandan. They're at 1804. Made some friends along the way. I'm Secretary Will. Through the Columbia Gorge.
There are tons of ways to help with your kids' learning. Find the really good ones on connectforkids.org.
A sweet Pacific Ocean! Yeah!
Have you figured out the answer to this week's trivia question? To remind you, here it is one more time. When was the last time CU actually won the NIT tournament? And we have to go all the way back to 1940 was the last time CU won the NIT tournament, the second year after its inception. And we're going to have Shannon Lee to talk about the weather.
And hopefully we get some snow. Take it away, Shannon.
Thanks, guys. I'm Shannon Lee bringing you this weekend's ski report, looking like a sunny and snowy weekend. We're going to start with Vail Resorts. It's a little bit of snowfall on Friday, a little bit warmer on Saturday and Sunday, a high of 46 on Saturday, about an estimated 8 inches of snowfall in the next 72-hour period. Moving on to Keystone Resorts, again, snowfall on Friday, definitely warmer on Saturday and Sunday, a high of 47 on Saturday. And in the next 3 days, about 9 inches of snowfall, which will make for some good skiing and snowboarding. But if you're really looking for the fresh powder, you're going to want to head a little bit further to Steamboat Resort. Again, snowfall on Friday, a little bit colder on Saturday and Sunday, about a high of 38 degrees. Still going to be sunny, and there's an estimated 19 inches of snowfall in the next 3 days. So if you are traveling, be safe and have a great spring break, and I will send it back to the desk.
Thank you, Shannon. It's been a great show. What are you doing for spring break, Simone?
Hopefully catching up on the slopes up at Keystone. What about you?
I'm probably going to have to catch up on the studies a little bit. I've been a little behind. Too much Sports Mag for me.
Yeah. I'm Simone von Rippenberg for Andy McDonnell. Thank you.